Check.
I want a Denzi.
Mic check 1, 2. It's your boy.
It's your boy.
Yeah. All right. So same race, different lanes. In this mic check, we're going to be looking at the damaging habit of comparing our financial journey to others without acknowledging the privilege, the access, or even just the head start that many people begin with that you didn't. Let's check it out.
I don't think we understand that a lot of people got head starts. I don't think we understand that a lot of people did not get head starts and are starting from, some people start from the line. Some people start from the 10-meter mark. Some people start at the finish line. Some people are not even in the stadium. Some of us are inheriting financial trauma. Some people are inheriting debt. Some people are inheriting a legacy and a generation of just bad financial decisions, while other people didn't have to pay to go to school, while some other people got to live in their parents' house until they were 30 without paying a bill. And you brought yourself through school. You paid for a master's, you're paying off that loan, you come from country and you come at town, you don't have nobody at town, so you live in one apartment, you pay that apartment, you're doing all of these things, you're racking up all of these expenses, you're racking up all of these bills, and you're holding yourself to the standard of somebody that is privileged. Finances are very personal.
I think this is a money masterclass in and of itself. Big ups to Rush Cam.
Rush Cam,
and
big up.
NO NDA for his podcast. And it was a very...
I saw that clip
too.
when he dropped it.
Yeah.
And I have been saying this for a long time. No, I remember when I was at university, I had a brethren who had a Toyota Starlet. I always remember, them time that me did love... the fast Toyota Starlet.
Yes, Toyota Starlet in them time, they're Uno.
And the GTI Swift them. Yeah,
yes.
man, we have a bridging with a sweet Toyota Starlet. And I always remember that, I was looking at, when I finished university, I was looking at Toyota Starlet to buy. And I was just thinking that his father bought a new car and rather than selling it, gave him the Toyota Starlet.
Yes.
That is an advantage because now him have the car loan for pay.
Right.
And when him eventually sell it, now him are going to have that as an asset to turn over for some other purpose. But he did not have to start off like that. And there are people who, and as simple as you see, like for instance, say you grow like Daniel now, where grow strict Pentecostal, you're not going out. Where you going? Which party you going? You're not going. You understand? So as Daniel one party now. So Daniel now move out. As she finish university, she move out her mother house.
That's why she was stay study the Bible. Go in your house, got your bed.
Got your bed.
Too enough.
You understand? But no.
Yeah, but you want live your life and you want to
live your
explore,
life. So you have to move out.
Yeah, I get it.
You have to go pay rent. So you have to pay rent. You have to pay car loan or whatever. These are things that you have had. So you're starting from a different starting point from somebody else who they stayed in their mother's house until they were 28.
But let me just say this, and I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate Rush Cam's perspective, and that is why you have to run your own race and do your own thing.
Stop comparing yourself to other people.
But the thing I don't like, and it is in our culture, I feel like we want to put down people who got a quote-unquote head start. Because what we today is, you can still get a head start and still fumble the bag if you're worthless, if you don't use it properly. So, for example, your friend's father gave him a Toyota Starlet, right? But if he was reckless, he could have crashed it.
He never give him one Benz,
Exactly. But even if your father gave one Benz, I feel like if people's parents or can afford certain things or afford to give their children a head start, it should not be looked at as, oh, they got it easy.
No,
you know what I mean?
Definitely not.
Because it's almost like, oh, you live in your mother's house. Yes, I can live in my mother's house because my mother provided a space for me to live in there and don't put me out a road. It is fine. So what I don't like is the tone of, and not from Rush Cam or you, but there is this underlying, well, you get to live with your mother.
No, I use that example. I use that example.
Because, hold on, you can still live with your mother and be worthless.
Yeah, exactly.
You can still live with your mother and still don't accomplish anything.
Of it. Well, I use those two examples of how my point is that it's something very simple can make a significant economic difference in someone's life. That's the point. That to finish the point, that's the point I was making. That something very simple as and sometimes it's intergenerational. Right. Because my child will not have to worry about paying university tuition. Yes. I worked and paid university tuition. I worked very hard to pay my own university tuition. I took student loan in first year, but I still had student loan debt to pay back. You understand? I wasn't going to necessarily say, I want to be an astrophysicist, and so I'm going to burden my mother with student loan debt to go and study astrophysics. No. I'm going to study psychology and sociology and work my way and continue learning and doing other things. But you see, a wise man and a good man is going to leave an inheritance for his children's children.
Amen.
Not just his children, but his children's children. I have to be thinking about, what am I doing for Jackson's kids?
Yes.
And that way that we can give them this advantage.
This head start.
Yeah, this head start. So that there are just certain things that they don't have to worry about. But at the same time, we always say, strong men create good times and good time, but sometimes good times create weak men. You understand? I don't want my child.
Yeah, but bad times can create some wicked, heartless man too, deprived and depraved. Because I tell people, money is the root of all evil. Not having it too has created a lot of criminals, a lot of murderers, a lot of things. So
the love of money,
the love of it, right? So in both aspects, poverty also. I was listening to a neuroscientist on a podcast recently, and he was likening that poverty is trauma. He says that people who grew up in abject poverty, it's almost as if he was likening it to being assaulted, physically assaulted. And he was saying that the trauma that a lot of people, Dennis, you have some people who right now don't want to see certain food because when them graduates, that them eat. A lot of people have a lot of anger, a lot of resentment because of the conditions in which they were raised. Some people use it to catapult them to the next level and to motivate and to be inspired. But some people got through it, Dennis, they were given away, they were beaten, they were treated badly. It can be very traumatic for some people.
Some people have gone through some horrible things. But what I would also would come back to the point I think that Rushkan was making is that stop comparing yourself. Comparison is the thief of happiness. Stop comparing yourself to people. You don't know what other people are doing for theirs. You don't know what other people had to do for them so that they can have theirs. And you're on a different path. You're on a different trajectory that could maybe take you above where they are at one day. Learn to be content with what you have.
And if you want it, go work
for it. And don't want it because somebody else has it. If you want it for yourself, want it for yourself.
And also, you may not be the one to enjoy it, but your future generations will, all right? So plan ahead and lay the foundation. But thank you, Rush Cam. And that's it for this morning. I don't know how the time just...
Time fly. I can tell you.
Like that,
my legs are feeling very nice.
Good for you. You see you? You're not such a plan up, I got to tell you. But guys, it is definitely always a pleasure being here with you. And tomorrow is... Wednesday.
Why not Wednesday?
Why not Wednesday?
Yendi's back from Yendi.
Yes, in Ghana. That's right.
She's back from Yendi and she joins IT.
For midweek takeover. So IT, Yenditi. Or is it Yenditi? I don't know. Yenditi. Yenditi. Lovely. All right, guys, do have a great day. Remember, kindness is karma and kindness is magic. So be as kind to as many persons as you possibly can. By the way, Dennis, we have a cane roll. Thursday, we're going to cane roll. Thursday, we're going to cane roll. Let's see if we can cane roll.
We can cane roll, Pine. Suzanne.
Hi, Suzanne. Have a wonderful day, guys. Take care. Be blessed and stay safe and keep it locked to CVM and Sunrise. Always.
Right,
bye.
Intoxicated by the incense of scriptures, I chant to all I reverence. I say, woke up this morning feeling so glad. The world is yours for the taking. Said a little voice in my head, in my head. The world is yours for the taking. Sing a couple songs before you know it, them a jump. I got something for the ladies and also thugs. Raga card, but I heart a love. The way them see the natty skang, I'm good, they feel natty drunk. But the harder call them know, say Jesse Royal and a punk. And the eye set a strong full up in a me love. I say, woke up